Okay. A capacitor 50 microfarad is connected across 230 volt 50 hertz supply. So whenever supply specifications given to you like this, 230 volt, single phase, 50 hertz AC supply, means this voltage you will consider RMS or peak? (230 volt) you will consider RMS or peak? RMS. Huh? Okay. So calculate the reactance offered by the capacitor. First of all, reactance offered by the capacitor. What is the formula? Reactance offered by capacitor.
1 upon 1 upon omega.
Correct. XC is equals to 1 divided by omega C, that is 1 divided by 2 pi FC. Okay, using this you can calculate, you will get it 63.66. All of you can see here, XC is calculated. Maximum current. Now how you will calculate maximum current? Now you know VRMS, you know XC. So VRMS divided by XC, what you will get?
IRMS.
Correct. IRMS you will get. And then you can convert IRMS into √2. You will get the peak. Okay. You will get the peak. Again, what else you may get asked for this? Suppose instantaneous voltage equation. Then what you will write? V of t Vm sin of omega t. Okay. So this is the RMS. Convert it to peak, means 230 into √2 sin of omega t. Omega will be what? If frequency is 50 hertz, what will be omega? 100 pi t. Isn't it? Correct. And current equation, if you get asked, then I of t, I am sin 100 pi t. What? इसके बाद
plus pi by 2.
Correct, plus pi by 2, because current leads voltage by 90 degree. Power factor 0, pi, 90 degree, isn't it? Impedance, yes, what will be the impedance in polar, suppose rectangular form?
Minus XT.
Minus j XC. XC you know 63.66 ohm. Okay, so minus j 63.66 ohm will be the impedance. Suppose options given to you are in polar form. Then what is in polar form? Polar form of 0 plus JB is what? B at an angle of minus 90 degree. Okay, so XC at an angle of minus 90 degree. You can use calculator, convert this rectangular to polar. You will get this form, XC at an angle of minus 90 degree. Okay, so any difficulty up to this?
No, ma'am.
Okay, now we'll go for the series RL. Here can everyone see series RL circuit?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So see here, resistance and inductor are connected in series. Self-inductance we denote by capital L. All of you know that. Now here applied voltage is V of t Vm sin of omega t. Once you switch on, current will flow through the circuit. Same current will flow through R and L because R and L are connected in series. So here, as current is flowing through resistance R, how much will be the voltage drop across it?
VR.
VR is the symbol for voltage drop across resistance. What is the formula for VR? I into R. Okay, I into R. IR, correct. See here I have written both the values VR and I. Which one you will consider here? In this formula, see the circled one formula, VR is equals to I into R. VR and I, which value? RMS value. Root means square value. Okay. Next, current is flowing through inductor also. Voltage drop will be there across it. VL. What will be the formula for VL?
I into XL.
Correct. I into XL. that is in volt. Again the same thing, I and VL are in RMS. So here in this formula, voltage drop across resistance, voltage drop across inductor, that is VR and VL and I, all are RMS value. Sometimes for 1 mark, you may get asked calculate the voltage drop across resistance, voltage drop across inductor. You can use this formula. Okay. Now here VR and VL, its phasor sum is total voltage, KVL equation. Now here applied voltage is AC, Vm sin of omega t, VR and VL also will be sinusoidal waveform. Current flowing is also a sinusoidal waveform. Okay. So sinusoidal means what? Its magnitude and direction continuously changes with respect to time. So whatever this instantaneous voltage equation, we can write it in polar form, isn't it? So like this is the KVL equation. Phasor sum of VR and VL is V. Here RHS is equals to LHS. When you will get it in KVL equation, when you consider both magnitude also and angle also. We have seen instantaneous voltage equation, how to written in polar form, how to convert it in polar form. Polar form means what? Magnitude and angle. So whenever you are going to simplify this equation, so here V, VR and VL, all you have to consider for every parameter, you have to consider its magnitude also and angle also. Then only you will get here RHS is equals to LHS. Only if you are going to consider here magnitude, then you will not get RHS is equals to LHS. Okay, magnitude and angle both you have to consider. So as it is a AC circuit, magnitude and direction continuously changes, KVL equation will be phasor sum of VR and VL is V. So you can write it, magnitude of V will be what? Square root of VR square plus VL square. Sometimes in the exam given, suppose VR is 10 volt and VL is 150 volt. So will V be 160? How you calculate?
No, ma'am.
Okay,
No,
what some student does, 10 plus 150, so like this, that is 160. It's not so. It's a AC parameter, so you have to consider, means here magnitude and direction continuously changes. That's why square root of 10 square plus 150 square will be the V. 1 mark question, VR given, VL given, and if you get asked calculate V, so this is the formula. V is equals to square root of VR square plus VR square. Now put here value. So what it will be? Square root of 10 square plus 150 square. Whatever the answer you will get, that you can calculate using calculator. Now here put here the value of VR and VL. IR, IXL, take I common. So you will get square root of R square plus XL square. And square root of R square plus XL square is called as Z, impedance here, because you can see here it is nothing but it's a V by I. If you simplify this, what you will get, V by I is equals to Z. So V by I along with resistance, inductor is also there. So XL is there, that is omega L in ohm. So to consider the effect of inductance also, total voltage divided by total current will be the Z, which is called as impedance. So impedance here you will get formula square root of R square plus XL square ohm. Now here whatever the current flowing through resistance and voltage drop across resistance, what is the phase difference between the two?
90 degree.
No.
This is the resistance.
No
What
phase
here?
difference. 0.
0 degree, correct. No phase difference will be there. Okay, so now we are going to draw the phasor diagram for this. No phase difference is there between I and VR. Next one, you tell me what will be the phase difference between I and VL?
90 degree.
90 degree, right. Current leads or current lags in inductor?
Current lag.
Correct.
Lags.
Current lags voltage by 90 degree. Nothing but we can say voltage leads current by 90 degree, isn't it? Okay. So here we are going to draw the phasor diagram. What's about the current flowing through the circuit is same. Same current starts from voltage source. Same current flows through resistance and inductor also. So here we'll take when we draw the phasor diagram, we are going to take current as a reference. Reference means what? It will be along positive real axis. Okay. And here another one formula also we will use to complete the phasor diagram. Phasor sum of VR and VL is V. Okay. So we'll draw the phasor diagram. See, as same current is flowing through all the components, I am taking current as a reference along positive real axis. Just now you told me I and VR no phase difference between the two. Okay, because for resistance I and VR are in phase. Then for inductor we have seen current lags voltage by 90 degree. Nothing but for inductor voltage leads current by 90 degree. So VL leads I, and leading parameter in phasor diagram we draw in which direction? Clockwise, anti-clockwise?
Anti-clockwise.
Correct, anti-clockwise. So all of you can see here VL you can represent leading I by 90 degree in anti-clockwise direction, isn't it? Now another equation we have seen, phasor sum of VL and VR is V. So law of parallelogram you can apply. This is the VR phasor. Draw parallel phasor to it and of equal length. These two are parallel to each other and of equal length. Similarly do for VL. This one is VL. Draw parallel phasor to it and of equal length. These two are equal and parallel to each other. So whatever is the intersection point of these two parallel phasor, this one, intersection point and origin, these two you can join, and what it will be then? If I join these 2 points, what is the phasor sum of VL and VR? Total voltage, isn't it? So this diagonal will be total voltage. Clear how to draw the phasor diagram? See, take I as a reference because same current is flowing through all the components. That's why we are taking current as a reference. Then VR will be in phase with it. VL leads I by 90 degree. Then resultant of VR and VL is V. So use law of parallelogram. Draw parallel phasor to VR. Draw parallel phasor to VL and of equal length. Whatever the intersection point of these two lines, parallel lines and the origin, if you join, you will get the total voltage V. So along this phasor, it's a total voltage V. Any difficulty in phasor diagram up to this?
No, ma'am.
Now all of you can see here, see total voltage and total current. Is there any phase difference between total voltage and total current here? Or both are in phase? Total voltage देखो कौन से phasor के
Phase difference.
हाँ, phase difference
Phase
is there.
difference.
Very good. Phase
Phase
difference is there. How much we denote phase difference between total voltage
Phi.
and total current? We denote it by phi. So what we can say here, when a resistance and inductor you connect in series, there is a phase difference between total voltage and total current, isn't it? And what's about current lags or current leads total voltage?
Lags.
Correct. Okay, so when resistance and inductor like this, any single phase load, you are going to connect across single phase AC voltage. So whatever is the total current flowing through that circuit and total voltage across that circuit, there is a phase difference phi, and current lags voltage by an angle phi. And this phi will never be equal to 0 degree. Why? Because it is not purely resistive. That's why phase difference is not 0 degree. And this circuit is not purely inductive. That's why phase difference between total voltage and total current can never be equal to 90 degree. Okay, because R is there, L is there, so this phi can never be 0. It can never be equal to 90 degree. Phi is always greater than 0 degree and it will always be less than 90 degree. Here each and every, so phi is always greater than 0 degree and less than 90 degree. As phi is greater than 0, less than 90 degree, so cos phi also will never be 0 or will never be equal to 1 for series RL. It will always be greater than 0 and will always be less than 1. Power factor. And I lags V by an angle phi, and where phi is greater than 0 and less than 90 degree. So if voltage equation is V of t Vm sin of omega t, this is the voltage equation. So as current lags V by an angle phi, so what will be the current equation? Im. It also will be the sinusoidal waveform. Angular frequency will be same as that of the supply frequency, that is omega, isn't it? Omega t. Now in the phasor diagram you can see current lags voltage by phi. Lagging, that's why plus sign or minus sign here. Minus, because it
Minus sign.
lags. Correct. And by how much angle? Phi. Okay. So if in the numerical it is given to you that instantaneous current, instantaneous voltage equation V of t Vm sin of omega t, and current equation is in this form. I of t is equals to Im sin of omega t minus phi, where phi is greater than 0 and less than 90 degree. Okay. It is not equal to 0. It is not equal to 90 degree. Then this circuit is of which type? Series RL. So keep these equations also in your mind. Here phi is not 90 degree, isn't it? Here phi is not 0 degree. It is in between. Okay. So now here one more thing. Current is lagging or leading voltage? Total current.
Lagging.
Correct. Total current is lagging total voltage. So whenever you get asked to calculate the power factor, you have to specify its nature also. Nature of power factor is either lagging or leading. And this nature of power factor, whether lagging or leading, it is specified in terms of current. If current lags, then nature of power factor is specified as lagging. If current leads, then nature of power factor is specified as leading. So here all of you can see total current lags total voltage. That's why nature of power factor is specified as lagging. Clear? Because whenever in the numerical you get asked to calculate the cos phi, suppose your answer is 0.5. So in the options you can find 0.5 lagging also option is there, 0.5 leading also option is there. Isn't it? So if which one you will take, whether 0.5 lagging or whether 0.5 leading. So if you find total current leads total voltage, then take the 0.5 leading option. But if you find total current lags total voltage, then you have to take 0.5 lagging. Okay. So nature of power factor either lagging or leading, and it is specified in terms of current. If current lags, lagging power factor. If current leads, leading power factor. Okay. Next one is instantaneous power. So instantaneous power is a product of instantaneous voltage and instantaneous current. Okay. So V of t we know, Vm sin of omega t. I of t just now we have derived from phasor diagram, instantaneous current equation, Im sin of omega t minus phi. So you can simplify this to calculate the average power. This formula, all of you have learned it in 12th, 2 sine A into sine B. Use it here. So you will get this one step. Okay. Now multiply by this parameter inside. So what you will get? Again the same thing here. See, whatever is the second parameter, it is a cosine waveform. Cos 2 omega t means twice the supply frequency, means from 0 to pi it will complete one cycle. So what will be the average value for this part, cos of 2 omega t minus pi?
0.
It will be 0, isn't it? So what will be the average value? Vm Im into upon 2 into cos phi. So Vm Im by 2 we can write Vm by root 2 Im by root 2, and Vm by root 2 Im by root 2 is Vrms and Irms, and this one cos phi. So what is the formula we are getting for active power? This whatever we have derived, average power capital P, formula is Vi cos phi, unit is watt. It is called as true power, real power, active power, power dissipated, power consumed. All these 5 terms, any one of it you get asked. Means sometimes they ask calculate the true power, sometimes they ask calculate power consumed, sometimes you get asked calculated power dissipated. Nothing but all are capital P, and only one formula, whatever is the circuit, purely resistive, purely inductive, purely capacitive, series RL, series RC, series RLC. For every circuit, keep only one formula in your mind. Capital P is equals to VI cos phi. Okay. So we have seen, like, see, for purely resistive circuit, what was cos phi? Purely resistive.
1.
1. So what formula you get? P is equals to VI. And if you remember, for purely resistive, we have derived P is equals to VI is equals to I square R is equals to V square by R. Isn't it? What,
Yes,
remember
ma'am.
the formula? Okay. So that is in watt. Similarly, for purely inductive, purely capacitive, we have seen phi is 90 degree. So cos phi is 0. So P is 0, isn't it? So that's why I'm telling to you, only keep one formula in your mind. P is equals to VI cos phi, watt. Okay. Now see the voltage triangle from phasor diagram. Along positive real axis, it's a VR. Along positive imaginary axis, it's a VL. And along diagonal, it is V. ऑडियो और वीडियो स्पीड मैच होता है ना?
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ, ठीक है. अगर लैग हो रहा है तो टेल मी, आई विल स्लो डाउन. So see here, along this it is VR from phasor diagram. Along this it's a VL, and along this it is a V. Formula we know for VR, VL and V. VR is what? I into R. VL is what? I into XL. And capital V is what? I into Z. So divide, this is called as voltage triangle. And in this we have seen this angle is 90 degree. This one angle is phi. This angle, you can check here in phasor diagram. See, this angle is 90 degree. Angle between VR and V is phi, power factor angle. Okay. So in this voltage triangle, whatever you got, if you apply cos phi formula, what you will get? Cos phi is equal to VR, VL और V के टर्म में क्या फॉर्मूला आएगा? Cos phi. This is VR.
VR upon VR.
Correct. VR upon V. Correct. Means VR, what you will get? VR is
V
what?
cos phi.
V cos phi.
V
Right.
cos phi.
Similarly, VL, what you will get here? VL from this triangle?
V sin phi.
V sin phi. Very
V
good.
sin phi.
Correct. Sometimes instantaneous voltage and current equation is given to you. Observing that equation, you can find out phi. Okay. And supply voltage, instantaneous voltage equation given to you means Vm, you know, means Vrms you can calculate, isn't it? So this is Vrms and sin phi. Then VL and VR you will get asked to calculate. VL and VR. Okay. So you can calculate using these two formula. This formula everyone keep in your mind. Sometimes while solving numerical, if you get asked to calculate VL and VR, using this formula you can calculate it. So from voltage triangle, VL is V sin phi and VR is V cos phi. Okay. Now what you do? I mentioned here formula. VR is IR, VL is IXL, and V is IZ. Divide every side of voltage triangle by current. So what you will get along this Z, along this R, and along this XL you will get, isn't it? So see, that is nothing but it's an impedance triangle called. Divide every side of voltage triangle by current, you will get the impedance triangle. Okay. Now you can take its mirror image also. In some books, this one you will find. In some books, this one you will find. Both are correct. Any one you can use. Okay. So for this also, whatever the voltage triangle I have shown, its mirror image also you can use. Both are correct. So consider this one now. Divide every side of voltage triangle, you will get impedance triangle. So R is along this, XL is along this, and Z is along the diagonals. Now 90 degree, all of you can see angle between R and Z is phi. All of you can see. Now compare this impedance triangle, this one impedance triangle with S plane. S plane, all of you know. This is the real axis, x-axis is real,
Real.
and this one is imaginary axis, and same as that of x and y, positive, negative, all of you know that. This one is positive, this side it is negative, real axis, this one is positive, and this side it is negative. Now compare this impedance triangle with this axis. R comes along which axis?
Positive real axis.
Correct. It will come along positive real axis. XL is coming along which axis?
Positive imaginary axis.
Correct.
Imaginary axis.
Correct. Positive imaginary axis. So you can write Z is equals to R plus JXL. Isn't it? We can write Z is equals to
Yes.
R plus JXL. Okay. So if you remember, I told you for series for purely inductive, Z is plus JXL. So why it is plus JXL, clear? Because whenever inductor is there in the AC circuit, you will find XL always comes along positive imaginary axis, always, and resistance always comes along positive real axis. Okay, and XL along positive imaginary axis. So that's why Z is plus JXL for purely inductive. Now here along with inductor, resistance is also there. So Z formula, everyone keep in your mind, because sometimes this one you have to use to calculate the impedance, or options given to you are in rectangular form. So R plus JXL, and sometimes impedance they give. So if imaginary part is positive, here what's about imaginary part of Z, positive or negative?
Positive.
Positive. So whenever imaginary part of Z is positive, means it's a compulsory series RL. Some real part it is having, and imaginary is positive, means what? It's a series RL. Now here in again impedance triangle, can you tell me cos phi you take, sin phi you take? What will be the formula of R? Cos phi.
Z cos.
करेक्ट. cos phi का क्या आएगा? cos phi का फॉर्मूला, हाँ, cos phi is R by Z.
R by Z.
R by Z. If you remember in practical fourth one, charging and discharging of capacitor, there you have RC study किया है उसमें आपने, right? RC है, तो RC के भी लिए वही फॉर्मूला आता है, cos phi is R by Z. Here also RL के लिए भी cos phi is R by Z. Sometimes to calculate the power factor, you have to use this one formula. R by Z is cos phi. Okay. And similarly, take sin phi. If you take sin phi, then what you will get? XL is equals to?
XL by Z.
Correct. Sin phi is XL by Z. So we can say XL is Z sin phi. So everyone keep this formula also in your mind. Keep this impedance triangle in your mind, because sometimes while solving numerical, you have to use this formula. R is equals to Z cos phi and XL is equals to Z sin phi. Okay. Now here this is the rectangular form. Impedance is nothing but total voltage divided by total current. So total voltage divided by total current is impedance, which is equals to here R plus J XL ohm. Now what will be, whatever this Z, it is in rectangular form, you can convert it into polar also. So polar will be polar form, magnitude will be what? Z, its magnitude is what? Square root of R square plus XL square. And how you can calculate the angle? Angle is tan inverse of imaginary part upon real part. Now here, can you tell me value of phi? It is a series RL circuit. Which one circuit we are studying right now? Series RL. For series RL, XL always comes along positive imaginary axis or negative imaginary axis.
Positive imaginary axis.
Correct, very good. XL always comes along positive imaginary axis. What's about R? It also always comes along positive real axis. Means for series RL, Z, if you observe, it's a real part and imaginary part, both are positive. Okay, so whatever the phi you calculate here using the formula tan inverse of imaginary part upon real part. So phi you will get positive or negative always for series RL.
Always positive.
Always
Acute.
positive. Always positive, because here for Z, if you observe its imaginary part and real part, always you will get positive for series RL. So phi also will be always positive. So how you can calculate Z? Its magnitude, square root of R square plus XL square. Z, this one you can write in terms of magnitude and angle, isn't it? So magnitude and angle. So magnitude will be square root of R square plus XL square, and angle is tan inverse of XL by R. Okay. So sometimes this one formula you have to use. Sometimes you get asked R and L given to you, and you get asked calculate the power factor. So how you can calculate if R and L given to you? So using R and XL you can calculate Z. So using this formula you can calculate cos phi, or phi you can calculate using tan inverse of XL by R and then cosine of this angle. Any formula you can use. Okay. And nature of power factor will be lagging or leading. See here, nature of power factor is always, for series RL, it is always
Lagging.
lagging. So this is the voltage and current equation. We have seen Vm sin of omega t, Im sin of omega t minus phi, volt and ampere. Now, what you do, whatever is the voltage triangle, if we divide it by current, what we get? Impedance triangle, isn't it? This one we have seen. Every side of voltage triangle divided by current, you will get the impedance triangle. Similarly, every side of voltage triangle, multiply it by current, you will get power triangle. Okay, what you will get? Power triangle. Means along this, what you will get? VR into I, isn't it? Along this side, what you will get? VL into I. And along this diagonal, what you will get? V into I, isn't it? If you multiply it by current. And what is the formula of VR and VL? VL is what? V sin phi. VR is what? V cos phi.
V
Put
cos
it
phi.
here. Put it here. Along this positive real axis, it's a VR into I. Nothing but VI cos phi. Isn't it? Along positive imaginary axis, it's a I into VL. So you will get it VI sin phi. And along diagonal, VI. Isn't it? So see here. VR into I. VL into I. And V into I, multiply every side of voltage triangle by current, you will get this one. Now put here value of VR as V cos phi. So you will get VI cos phi along positive real axis. Put here VL as V sin phi. So you will get along this VI sin phi. And this is VI. Okay. So whatever this along positive real axis we got, this is called as power triangle. Its mirror image, see lower one. Its mirror image also, any of it you can draw, consider upper one or lower one, both are correct. So see, along this is what? Capital P, active power, real power, true power, power dissipated, power consumed. What is the formula? VI cos phi. Unit is watt. How you can define it? It is the power which is consumed only by resistive type of load. If you remember, cos phi is 1 for resistive, for inductor and capacitor cos phi is 0. So,
0.
So capital P is 0 for L and C, but P is equals to VI for R only. That's why how you can define it, it is the power which is consumed only by resistive type of load. That is the active power. Okay, so see, capital P, active power, active power, true power, real power, power dissipated, power consumed. Formula is watt, VI cos phi, capital P, and unit is watt, kilowatt, megawatt. And what is the definition? It is the power which is consumed by resistive type of load. MCQ question. Power consumed by resistive type of load is called as which power? Active power. Unit of active power. Means sometimes option, suppose in numerical you get asked calculate the power and options answer is 50 and options given to you are 50 watt, 50 VAR, 50 VA. So which one you will take? 50 watt. Unit also you have to keep in your mind. Okay, so active power, it is the power which is consumed only by a resistive type of load. See along positive imaginary axis what you are getting? Q. Q is what? VI sin phi. It is called as reactive power. See, reactive power denoted by capital Q. Formula is VI sin phi. We have seen for inductor and capacitor, they do not consume any power. Only there is a flow of power from source to load and load to source continuously, isn't it? So like this you can define it, reactive power. It is the power which flows from source to load to source continuously is called as reactive power. For inductor and capacitor we have seen phi is 90 degrees, so sin phi is 1. But what's about for resistor? Sin phi is 0. So Q will be 0 for resistor, but Q is there for inductor and capacitor, isn't it? So in case of inductor and capacitor, this Q continuously flows from source to load and load to source, and that is called as reactive power, denoted by capital Q. Formula is VI sin phi. Unit is VAR. kVAR, MVAR, K means into 10 to the power 3. M means into 10 to the power, yes. Capital M means into 10 to the power 6. Right. Same is here. Huh? Watt, kilowatt, megawatt. Same thing. Kilo means 10 to the power 3. Megawatt means 10 to the power 6. Okay. Last one here, apparent power, which is denoted by capital S. So you can see here, I can write like this. Phasor sum of P and Q is apparent power, capital S. And nothing but you can simplify it like this, square root of P square plus Q square is capital S. So like this you can define it. Apparent power is what? Resultant of active power and reactive power. Okay. So apparent power is resultant of active power and reactive power. Okay. And equation for this, capital S is phasor sum of P and Q, and its formula is V into I. See here what we are getting, S is equals to VI. Apparent power, it is denoted by capital S, and unit is VI, that is volt amperes. kVA means into 10 to the power 3, MVA into 10 to the power 6, isn't it? So power triangle, first thing, if you multiply every side of voltage triangle by current, you will get power triangle. So P, active power, Q, reactive power, S, apparent power, VI cos phi, VI sin phi, VI, and units. Okay, sometimes in numerical you get asked to calculate Q, reactive power, but options give, suppose answer is 10 kVAR. So options given is 10 kVAR, 10 kilowatt, and 10 kV. What does it mean? Unit also you should know. Okay, so unit also keep in your mind. Any difficulty with this series RL circuit? This is the theory part. Based on this, numericals are there. Again, in brief, I'll repeat summary. See, it's a series RL circuit. The resistance and inductor are connected in series. Applied voltage is what? V of t, Vm sin of omega t. If you get asked to calculate voltage drop across resistance or voltage drop across inductor, so use this formula. VR is I into R, VL is I into XL. Here VR and I both value are RMS. Either you use both value peak or both value RMS. Suppose VR you are using here peak, then I also must be the peak to calculate R. Similarly here, suppose you get asked to calculate VL and I you are using RMS. So whatever the VL you will calculate, that also will be RMS. Okay. Next one, phasor sum of VR and VL is V. Sometimes we out of these three parameters, any two given and any one you get asked to calculate. So here square root of VR square plus VL square is total voltage V. Phasor diagram we have seen. From the phasor diagram, what result we got? V of t is Vm sin of omega t. So I of t is Im sin of omega t minus phi. Because current lags voltage by some angle phi which is greater than 0 degree and less than 90 degree. Here phi for series RL can never be equal to 0, can never be equal to 90 degree. That's why cos phi also will always be greater than 0 and less than 1 for the series RL circuit. So for series RL, current always lags voltage by some angle phi, where phi is between 0 and 90 degree. Power factor nature is lagging or leading here. Current lags voltage. That's why power factor nature lagging. Then what we got, voltage triangle. Its mirror image also you can draw. VL, if you get asked VL VR, you can use this formula also. V sin phi, V cos phi. The impedance triangle. Z, use this formula to calculate the impedance. Z is equals to R plus JXL. Or you can use Z magnitude is square root of R square plus XL square. Phi is tan inverse of imaginary part upon real part. So here real and imaginary part both are positive. That's why phi always will be positive. Means when you convert Z in polar form, magnitude and angle, you will find both are positive. Magnitude also positive and angle is also positive. Okay, and that angle, it is greater than 0 and less than 90 degree. So if Z given to you in polar form, suppose phi u at an angle of 30 degree, means which circuit it is angle here 90 degree? Is angle 90 degree? कितना है पोलर फॉर्म में phi? See, Z, हाँ, Z is given to you phi u at an angle of 30 degree. So here phi is not 90 degree. Means it is series RL. First thing, it is series RL. And phi is positive or negative? Plus 30 degree है या minus 30 degree है?
Plus 30 degree.
Plus 30 degree है. That's why it's a series RL. और अगर minus 30 degree रहता है तो it's a series RC. Next one part we are going to see. Okay, and magnitude is also positive. Suppose it is given to you phi u is equal to phi u at an angle of plus 90 degree. Means what is it? Phi is 90 degree. Means what is it? Purely inductive or purely capacitive? Plus JXL. हाँ, purely inductive है this one. Means XL की value क्या है? 5. Okay, and suppose it is given to you Z is equals to minus 5, not minus 5, sorry, phi u at an angle of minus 90 degree. 90 degree है means either it is inductive or capacitive. Plus 90 degree है तो XL और minus 90 degree है तो XC. Why? Because we have seen Z is equals to minus JXC. Okay, so three things are there. First thing is whether phi is 90 degree or not. If it is 90 degree, then either purely inductive or purely capacitive. Plus 90 degree, purely inductive. Minus 90 degree, purely capacitive.
Purely capacitive.
And if it is not 90 degree, somewhere in between 0 and 90. So it's a series RL. If phi is positive, ये 30 degree, 40 degree. But phi अगर negative है तो it's a series RC. Okay. because sometimes like this given to you and you have to identify which one circuit it is. Sometimes while solving the sum you have to use the formula R is equals to Z cos phi, XL is equals to Z sin phi. So this is the instantaneous voltage and current equation. Using this you can calculate the instantaneous power. That one part I think we have done, right? So we got active power VI cos phi. Power triangle we have seen PQS, active, reactive, apparent, VI cos phi, VI sin phi, VI, and units watt, VAR. VAR means reactive volt amperes. VAR stands for reactive volt amperes, and here it is a VI means volt amperes. Okay. Any difficulty for series RL? No difficulty. Can we go for numerical? ठीक है.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay. So see now the numerical on series RL. A coil. I told you for purely inductive also coil means two things are there. Sometimes if it is said it's a coil only with self inductance means purely inductive coil. Okay. Or practically every coil has some resistance. Every coil has some value as internal resistance means capital L in series with R, small r. Okay, but still if we are going to neglect the resistance, then first one is the case. If in the numerical it is specified, then second one case. So you have to identify which one case is given, either purely inductive is given or whether that coil whatever given it is having some internal resistance. Two things are there. Okay, so see here a coil of a resistance and inductance means it's a whatever the coil you are going to consider, it is having some internal resistance and its value also given, and that you have to consider. Okay, so its value of internal resistance you can denote by capital R, small r, doesn't matter. Okay, as in earlier derivation we have used here capital R, here also we use capital R because it's not separate given. Internal resistance of a coil and in series with it some resistance, not separate two resistance value given, combine ही दिया है, तो इसलिए we'll take it as a capital R only. Okay, so a coil of a resistance 20 ohm and inductance 0.1 Henry is connected in series across single phase 200 volt 50 hertz supply. So see here, whatever the coil, its internal resistance is 20 ohm, that we are going to denote by capital R, as in the earlier derivation we have used capital R, and here inductance is 0.1 Henry. It is connected across single phase AC voltage 200 volt. This 200 volt again you have to consider it as a RMS value. So all parameters will calculate. Whatever is the possibility you will get asked in MCQ, that in same exam. So I have considered all parameter. So calculate impedance, inductive reactance, current, power consumed, instantaneous voltage, current equation, phase angle, power factor, voltage drop across R and L. All parameter one by one we will calculate. Now L is given to you. Can you calculate XL?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Everyone please concentrate because on series RL numericals are there. XL is omega L 2 pi FL. So frequency is given to you 50 hertz here. Frequency is given, L is given 0.1 Henry. Just put the value and calculate the parameter. Unit is ohm. If you remember, I told you earlier also in previous lecture also, most of the numericals from second unit is only in the formula you have to put the value. So all of you can just observe it. Okay, only in the formula you have to put here value. Okay, so now we know R and we know XL. So can we calculate Z in rectangular form? Z formula,
Yes, ma'am.
we have derived just R plus J XL. Just put here value. Using calculator, can you convert rectangular to polar?
Yes.
Or you can calculate square root of this one parameter. How you will calculate square of 20 plus square of this 31.41? You will get this. And phi is tan inverse of imaginary part upon real part. or using calculator convert rectangular to polar. Okay, up to this everyone got. Now Z we have calculated. Do you know here total voltage? Is it given in the numerical total voltage?
Yes, ma'am.
200 volt, isn't it? Total voltage we know. Total impedance, its magnitude we know. So if I do total voltage divided by total impedance, what I will get? Total current. Just now we have seen V by I is equal to Z, isn't it? So here total voltage 200, total impedance, you know magnitude, you can calculate the total current. Any difficulty to calculate the total current? Total voltage we have used here RMS value. So whatever the current you will be getting, that also will be RMS. Okay, that also will be RMS. Now